What movie did you start watching then said this, I'm not finishing this? Geely. I thought it might be comically bad. But no. It's just the moldy cardboard of movies. Made it through about 35 minutes before I realized that I was actively thinking about other things and tuning it out. So I turned it off. Going Overboard. Adam Sandler's first movie. It's amazing how it didn't end his career before it started. Zombiesaurus. I love B-movies that are amusingly bad. Ghost Shark is a particular favorite. But Zombiesaurus, bought for £2 from my local Asda, was so bad I couldn't finish it. Last year's Cats. I lasted 30 minutes and then I immediately left the theater. Human faces on roaches creeped me the out. As did whatever else I saw in that time frame. Hearts and Armor. Corrected. I have absolutely no excuse other than I paid $1 in the Blockbuster bin for it and needed to win the worst movie contest with a bunch of friends on Fantasy Movie Friday. I won. I still win with it. I still haven't watched all of it. Note to anyone who attempts to watch it. Whenever the blonde heaves her bosoms, tosses her hair, and yells, "Let me fight him. I'll fight him, take a drink and you'll be dead before the end of the film. So you'll be out of your misery anyway. FYI. You don't know bad cinema until the bad guys have the evil henchman in a sword and sorcery flick is wear a spangly rooster costume fight chicken style alongside the guy in a sequin top hat surrounded by knives and bowtie on top of an ape suit. Yup. Folks. It's that bad. And I own it on VHS. The most recent Underworld movie. It was a lot more soap opera and general incoherence than anything. Beyond saving. My mom recorded Tyler Perry's A Madea Family Funeral the other day because that's just how bored she is. She doesn't even like Madea. I sat through the first 5 minutes before I couldn't take any more. A while later she finished it and told me, "Yep. Madea still sucks." Years back. I used to love the no-effort parody movies like Epic Movie, Scary Movie, Superhero Movie, Meet the Spartans, etc. Until I watched Scary Movie 5. When 5 came out, I couldn't see it immediately at the time so I forgot about it and rented it years later. When watching it I realized none of the jokes were funny because they all relied on referencing and parodying the horror movies of that time which were no longer relevant. It was a slog and I turned it off and returned it halfway through. The Mummy 3. I loved the Mummy series and Brendan Fraser is awesome, but my god, that was a hot pile of and the only movie I ever walked out of in a theater. Dragon Ball Evolution. A Serbian film. 50 Shades of Grey. I was out as soon as she walked into Christian S' office and tripped over nothing. Cause. You know. She's just so quirky and clumsy. Inside. It's a Spanish slasher film about this woman who wants to steal a pregnant widow's fetus. I've watched so many Gorefest movies to boot and for some reason this one just totally took it to the next level for me and I couldn't handle it. I actually got quite close to the end and I just couldn't finish it. Edit. It's French, not Spanish. Thanks to those who pointed this out. Smiley face. The Emoji Movie. It was almost a parody of every CGI kids movie. I was hoping for a feel-good goofy movie and saw Downsizing while browsing Hulu. After reading the description, I assumed it'd be something like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and went for it. It was nothing like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, sad face. Jurassic Shark. Got a Shark Movies DVD box as a joke birthday gift from my BF. Made her watch it all with me. Got through all of them but Jurassic Shark was next level bad. Fun evening though. Edit. BF equals best friend. Sorry for the confusion guys. English is confusing. Aragon the movie. Nuff said. Funny I never do that but yesterday evening I decided to try Replicas on Amazon Prime. It had Keanu Reeves in it so it can't be bad. Right? Here is the first 20 minutes or so. That will explain why on earth I had to change my habit of always finishing a movie. And shut down this one. So I started watching this best neurosurgeon on earth trying to extract human mind and put it in a robot only to fail miserably several times. Last try the robot achieved speaking and in matter of seconds. Became insane and started to tear its face apart and destroy itself. So he takes his wife and 3 kids in vacation. Night, rain, thunder during the trip. Wife dies when a tree explodes her chest so the car falls in a pond and everyone drowns. Expect our best man Keanu. So what does he do? He calls his best buddy coworker to come and bring their mind-scanning device without questioning. Coworkers obliges. They scan the brains of the whole dead family and bring the bodies at the lab where coworker is asked to get rid of the bodies, which he does cause he's a great friend. They then go to Keanu's house and best friend coworker happens to be top-notch cloning engineer, what a luck, and brings some pods so Keanu can clone his family and put back their memories inside the new bodies and no one will ever notice. Time to remember this is something that he has always failed to do in artificial bodies but in cloned ones? Nope. Neither. You thought it can't be worse? Hold my beer. Best friend only has 3 pods while Keanu's family is a wife and 3 kids, so there is 4 people to bring back and it takes 17 days to finish a clone. What could they do? Keanu, who is, I repeat, one of the smartest guy on earth, decides to put the names of his kids in a jar and pick one that won't be brought back. Just like that. Best friend asks him how he will deal with that? The family, and relatives, friends, neighbors, school teachers, you name it, will notice. And Keanu shows his full genius by explaining he will edit his family's scanned memory so no one remembers the dead kid. As it never existed. And at this time, I said, no. And turned that off. The Robin Hood movie from a year or so back. The bad guys have machine gun crossbows. It's bizarre. Edit. So this comment got a bit more attention than I was expecting. For anyone that hasn't seen it and is curious. The first scene has Robin Hood in the Crusades where the Crusaders wear modern gear and flak jackets and they hut around a bombed-out city clearing houses with longbows half drawn at the shoulder like they're spec ops dudes, but they get pinned down by an automatic ballista that's basically a machine gun nest, but it's okay because they fire a flare arrow over it which calls in an airstrike from some nearby trebuchets. I didn't hate this as much as some of the people replying, but the whole thing was so goofy and stupid that I couldn't be bothered finishing it. I just wish the My List and Continue Watching sections actually appeared consistently. They go AWOL all the time. Lost in the myriad weirdly specific genres Netflix has decided to make up that day. Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. Huge fan of the books but couldn't make it half an hour into the movie. Literally walked out of the theater. Cats. Just don't. Don't waste your time. It's time you'll never get back. And you can be wasting your time on something more wasteful than watching that movie. Into the Looking Glass. I'm normally a huge fan of Tim Burton's work, but I have legitimately sat down snacks. Full intent on watching it. 3 times now and I just can't get into it. Edit. I know he didn't direct this one, but we all know whenever he's involved his style gets very heavily incorporated. The Mummy. The Tom Cruise train wreck. The old school one with Brendan Fraser is awesome. Battlefield Earth. Unwatchable. Not even ironically funny. Edit. Honestly. Some scenes, in isolation on YouTube, are really hilarious. Travolta's I Was Being Trained to Conquer Galaxies line read is so bad, and the movie has a lot of moments like this. But to sit down and watch this thing from beginning to end, phew. I'd rather be doing my taxes. My partner and I have a holiday house in rural Hungary. It's a quiet village. Few streetlights. Next to no traffic. 1 January. It's my turn to fly out there for the weekend to check it's okay. I arrive and there's a foot of snow, but the house is all fine. Good. I put on the fire and settle in for the night. There's nothing much on the satellite TV and I'm not in the mood to listen to music. So I riffle through the DVDs to see what I might watch. I find 28 days later. It turns out that watching a zombie film in front of a flickering fire in a dark village on your own with nothing stirring outside in the depths of winter is not that brilliant an idea. I lasted 30 minutes. Noah with Russell Crowe. Gave it about 10 minutes, then me and the missus looked at each other. Maybe it'll get better, that maybe is doing a lot of work. We gave up when the twisted rock creatures just casually arrive and nobody bats an eyelid. Or even explains them. It might get better. But I'm 40-ish. So only have a few decades left. And don't want to risk wasting the hours required to watch this again. X-Men. Dark Phoenix. I couldn't get past the 10-minute mark. Unfriended. Once I realized the whole thing was gonna be on a screen, I headed out of the theater. Watching it at home a year later, I managed to get through it. I didn't really watch the movie, but my sister wanted to watch the movie Cats, and as soon as I saw the trailer, I went to cancel the tickets I bought online. How it ends on Netflix. It is just truly terrible. I tried to watch it to the end but I couldn't because it was that bad.